Greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. Hope you're all doing great today. I have a very special treat. I know several of you have been waiting for this and it has finally happened. I have finally got my husband Paul to make his video on the Ladder of Lights versus the Tree of Life. He did an awesome job. I can't wait for y'all to see this. If you want more of his, and I promise you I will try to do a better job on doing the video stuff. Trying to figure it out to make the whiteboard work was not a fun task. So anyway, he has lots of other massive wealth of knowledge and things that he teaches. So if y'all want to see more videos with him, you're going to have to really blow this up, okay? It means you're going to have to subscribe, hit that like button, leave comments, and you'll be happy that you did. And share these videos, okay? Please share all of them, and especially share this one because I really want him to do more on here, okay? So be sure to pay attention. You may want to get a pen and paper, take some notes. And I did at the end of the video put images. There's some in the video, but I put them at the end so that you can actually pause if you want to really see, you know, exactly the full diagrams on the two trees, okay? By the way, if you are taking my classes in book form, my third book, which is A Year and a Day, Learning the Old Ways. This is one of the classes in it, and it deals with, you know, the Tree of Life, and in one of the chapters. And so, you know, if you are doing that, when you get to that point, you may want to come back and watch this video again. It's going to help you to understand it a whole lot better because, you know, in person, Paul actually teaches this class. So anyway, check it all out and have fun. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to turn you over to my wonderful husband, Paul, and let him teach you about the Gnostic Tree of Life and the Ladder of Lights, which I like better. So anyway, here we go.
Hello everyone, my name is Paul, Sherry's husband, founder of Temple of the Ancient Ones. Been a pagan my entire life, except for the first 14 years, which we're going to admit that. I'm upholding a promise. And few people have asked numerous times about the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life itself is a very complicated piece of architecture. What started out one day as being something very simple turned into something extremely difficult. Jewish Gnostics, which was supposed to be the bridge between paganism of old to the Christianity values of today. The original Tree of Life that the Jewish mystics developed went according to the first 5 books of Moses, which is known as the Torah. Later adaptation of the Zohar by Reverend Simone Barahucci further complicated the tree. It made what seemed to be a very achievable goal into something that could never be achieved. The most enlightened man on the face of this planet has never reached the end of the tree. Within Gnosticism itself, it is believed that the tree, you could go back to any portion of your life within time and effect a change. This is far from the truth. Our lives are designed by structure, by divine intervention, however you want to label it. We are on a predestined path. This is what the tree originally started out as. Our connection to the divine. Within Christianity, Adam and Eve had that connection to God himself. Our gods, the pagan gods, the Christian God, all had a sense of humor. They gave us the option of choice to where we can choose our own path in life and become what we want to be. All right, so you look in behind me, we got a bunch of circles within the board. This is the adaptation of the Gnostic Tree within certain points of realms that you have to reach in order to reach the divine. Our initial connection, which we have the divine here, us being down here, was a singular path. Each one of these paths crisscross at a certain point in time. This is where we come up with our freedom of choice. We can choose which direction we want to go and make our lives a little bit more productive. Within Gnosticism itself and the connection of the tree, each of these points intersect to one another. And with any point in time, can we go back and affect a change? Now, the Tree of Life itself is within every single facet of religious belief and faiths. Sumerian, Assyrian, Akkadian, Babylonian, Egyptian, Norse, and so on down the list. The Tree of Life itself is a representation of immortality, life and death. It's how we choose our lives and what we choose to portray within our life depends on if we are able to achieve the divine or not. Within Gnosticism, they made the tree so complicated and so ritualistic that you need to know each one of the Sephira within the Gnostic tree is connected to an angel of heaven. You have to know each of those angels' names, each of their representations. You are given a name by each of them in order to progress. Unfortunately, it cannot be achieved. There is a similar situation called gate walking, and it's very similar. You go to each individual planetary stage. You are given a name to give to the next stage to progress even further. Within the Sumerian culture, dating back over 10,000 years roughly, they had what was classified as the Ladder of Lights. Their progression throughout life itself was different by all means. Each one of our stages in life and what we know them to be within the pagan community, the Rove, the Father, the Sage, the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. These are our three stages. Again, within the Ladder of Lights, we have a predestined path from us to the divine, whichever that may be, whether it be your own specific God or it be a universal one. Throughout our stages of life, we come to our first stage of childhood. This runs all the way up until roughly about 14 years of age. This is where we have to make our first choice. What do we want to achieve in life? What do we want to become? It can actually run all the way up to 18 years old. But 14, we become free thinkers and we start to ask questions. We want to know more of what's out there in the world. What is life truly about? So we become questioning individuals and we want to know more and more information. We live off of it. We thrive off of it. This one side of their tree was male. The other side was female. Within the male side, this is where we have the rove. And on the female side is the maiden. This is our young, wild side, where we want to investigate. We want to live life to its possible fullest. This is our first choice. You can choose either direction. But within the Sumerian belief, it was best to embrace both sides of your masculine and your feminine sides, for we all carry both within us. As we progress farther up into that tree, we come to another crossroads in life. Once we learn those lessons down here, we can apply them into our next stage. This stage here runs anywhere from 20 years old to roughly about 35 to 40. This is our father. This is where we become parents and our mother. We start to learn and apply the knowledge that we had while we were growing into this stage and to apply it to the next generation to come. We try to instill that knowledge into them. Again, at that crossroad, you can choose either side. If you're a male, you can choose masculine. Female, you can choose the feminine. But it is always best to embrace both sides. As parents, there are times we lose a spouse, whether it's from divorce, death, separation. We have to take on both roles as parents, both the mother and the father. To maintain too much sternness on the masculine side or too much forgiveness on the feminine side dictates how that next generation is going to grow. So it is always best to find a balance within yourself. And our Sumerian ancestors knew this. Nature had to be within balance within itself. People had to be in balance with nature and themselves as well. As we grow further, old age hits us. Yes, we are old. You have the sage. You have the crone. This becomes our wisdom. We've applied all of the information that we've had from our both stages of growth. We've learned, even as a sage and a crone, we learn from our younger. We learn from the mistakes of the rove and the maiden. We learn from the knowledge of the father and the mother. We convert that over to wisdom to hopefully nurture the next generation to come after us, to where they are able to understand our life lessons and where we came from and how we came to be, the fights that we've had in life, the struggles that we've had. again, even at our stages as sages and crones, we have to make that choice. Do we stay on one side of the tree, or do we go to the other side as well? Hopefully, by this point in time, we have grown enough and learned enough to where we know that we have to balance ourselves. The tree itself and the ladder, they are a faction of everyday life. As pagan individuals, people that practice the faith, we have to balance our mundane life with our practical and magical sides as well. If one overruns the other, we lose our balance and something falls to the side. I, for one, know this for a fact. The hatred that's in the world, the overbearingness, the lack of compassion, it is all within the male side of the tree. There is no forgiveness. There is no tenderness. There is no compassion. To effect a change in your life, to effect a change in mine and all those around us, we have to, again, find that balance. Now, there is a section within both trees that falls in a growth pattern between the father, the mother, the sage, and the crone. This is what is known as the void. It is not good to lose yourself within that void, in that transgression between the two stages. You will become stagnant. You will become bitter. We talk about Salem and Beltane, how the veil thins at those points in time within the year. That is this section right there. That is where we are able to contact our ancestors that came before us for guidance. Yes, the tree itself and the depictions within the tree, within religious aspects, is immortality. But it is not an immortality of life itself. We will never live forever. But our memory, our knowledge, our wisdom, and our craft will. If we maintain that balance and send that balance to the next generation. Neo-paganism today is their way of doing things. Is it a correct way? Maybe, maybe not. Is it a proper way? Again, maybe, maybe not. Is it the old way? No. But as teachers, as leaders, as the elders of certain communities, we have to embrace what they have to offer, as well as they have to embrace what we have to offer. And maybe somewhere down the line, a balance can be achieved. And the two faiths can work together for a similar outcome. The complications that I have found within my studies of the Gnostic Tree is extremely ritualistic. Each stage can take years to master. Ritualistic baths that last for months. The Jewish mystics believed in starvation, ritualistic fasting for months on end. No food, no drink, no sleep. It's led to countless deaths of students trying to understand the Gnostic Tree. those that did not die either became teachers or they went clinically insane. Whichever tree that you choose to follow, whether it be the more simplistic line or the more complicated line, the old ways, the newer ways, find the balance within each tree. Each has a balance. Without that balance, God have mercy on our souls. I will not sit there and tell anybody which is the better path to follow, which is the better tree to study. You have that choice. I'm giving you that choice. Choose whichever one. Study on both of them. Granted, you're not going to find a lot of information on the Sumerian Ladder of Lights. There is at least one book out there I know of on it. Other than that, I don't know. Study, learn, research, question. You have questions, leave them in the comments. If you're around Jackson, you have comments, stop in at Charlotte's Mystical Web. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. I do not expect anybody to take my word as golden. This is my lifelong study of religious beliefs. It's my concept of what these mean. Is it the truth? Probably not. That is for you to decide and you to learn. Otherwise than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay warm, stay safe. We'll see you on the next go.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed Paul's video. And once again, like I said, in future videos, I will try to do a better job of trying to get the video right. So anyway, be sure to leave some comments down there and share the video, click that like button, let him know just how much you really like seeing him on camera. I think he looks pretty awesome myself, but that's me. I'm kind of biased, I think. But anyway, he's an awesome man and he has a wealth of knowledge. So if you want to learn more, then click all the little things and let him know that you want to see more videos. Also, if you have my third book, where you're taking my classes, there is a chapter on the Tree of Life, and this particular video goes along with that class. If you were taking classes in person, then he would actually be teaching that class. So for those of you that don't know, my third book is A Year and a Day, Learning the Old Ways. And so I did do a video somewhere back about all three of my books. So if you're taking the classes, you'll really want to watch this video and make sure that you understand it better and get all the information and getting it straight from him. So there you go. All right. Well, till the next time, everyone, have a wonderful day. And I hope your life is filled with love, peace, happiness. So till the next one, blessed be.